Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town. That big bad wolf Jerome Powell, he tried to take this Santa Claus rally away from us, but it looks like we might just get it yet. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is the Santa Claus rally? Am I a little too early? I was feeling a little Santa Claus feeling today, a little Christmas feeling, a little cheerful. Looks like we got it started. Let's talk about it. Of course, Joel. We'll see how he looks at it. Is this Santa?
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Looks like we got to get some more people in here. I got to do something about this. All right, well, let's talk about it. Let's get into the market. I'm going to go ahead and bring up my charts. Let's bring on my man. You guys might know him. Joel Elconin.
What are you auditioning for? Let's get ready to rumble. What's that guy's name that does the? What's that guy's name?
What's his name?
Michael something.
Yeah. You know it. Forget the UFC. I got this. They need me.
I can't watch that UFC, man. Those guys just kill each other, man. That's just not for me. All right, let's get to the markets. People aren't here to hear us chit chat. Man, we tried to fill the gap in the S&P on the dailies. We didn't. Caught a bid at 70.50. I took out that 3,900 Monday's high, 38.99. Just blew through it like it was standing still. I couldn't quite get up to your next daily high. That was in the 39.30 handle. Peeling back a little bit. Still up 53 and a quarter handles at 39.0250. Remember what I said this morning? I said I want to see a close over 3,900. We'll see if we can get that. A couple handles to spare here. The dollar, a little bit of a rebound in the dollar, up 26 cents at 103.87. Ooh, I see a quad of tops there. Quad top in the dollar, right at these on the dollar futures at 104.50. The 30-year Treasury bond flat. Crude took out 77, took out 78, up 227, 78.50. We can cover some oil stocks if you want. Gold down $1.50, 1823.90. Not going to get a new closing high for the move there. Silver, that's down. That's been red. It's been green. It's been red. It's in the red now by 8.6 cents at 24.18.5. In Bitcoin, that's down $135 at 16,705 as SBF is boarding his flight to be extradited to the United States of America.
Yeah, he don't want to stay in those Bahama jails. Trust me, you don't want to be in those jails.
I wouldn't know, Mitch, but if you know from experience.
No, this is one thing I always tell people. When you go to other countries, don't end up in other countries' jails. You think ours is bad. Trust me. You don't want to see other countries' jails.
Have you ever seen that movie? Man, it's about a guy that gets stuck in Turkey. He gets stuck in a Turkish jail.
Oh, no, that does not sound like fun.
That was, and it wasn't even for a lot of stuff. I don't, if someone can remember, it was just unbelievable. But anyways, let's just talk the markets yesterday because we talked about it being that rally yesterday was a 4-day rally. And it wasn't like, we ended at Midnight Express. Dan Back has got my back. It's Chopper Smith in the house. These guys know what movie I'm. Who was in that? Was Clint Eastwood in that? I'm dating myself. But anyways,
I love it. I love it.
It wasn't a really good Ford. It really wasn't a good ending to the losing streak. It was a choppy day. You get stopped out, a few times. But you got the catalyst today, right? FedEx, a bellwether for the economy. FedEx and Nike gave us the boost. So now we got a 2-day rally. Like I said, we're back over 3,900. But what do we want to focus on to start on, Mish? Should we cover those earning stocks, or do you want to start with something else?
I mean, I think we can go, of course, to Nike first because that's really what got us started. I mean, I know that some people are going to point to FedEx, but I think Nike led the way. Really, Nike's report. When I look into it, I feel confident more that was a good report and pushed the markets higher. Of course, FedEx gave those warnings about the demand, right? And that's what surprises me more. Everyone even was saying it today. If you read a lot about the FedEx report, they're saying it's a good report. But if they're warning about demand, that's not necessarily good. And they also brought down their outlook, right? I mean, I talked about it this morning.
Yeah.
FedEx, they brought in their fiscal year EPS outlook to a high end of $14 when their estimate was at $14.08.
Yeah.
How is this you see that people get lost in the sauce, man. They get lost in the sauce. That's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe there's something in there. And I thought about that because I made that the pre-market prep stock of the day. And I'm looking and I'm like, well, they missed on revenues. What, 13 to 14 instead of 14.04? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there must be something in the numbers there that did it. But let's just review the price action. I think I was probably off on the Nike. The Nike took out the pre-market high. Couldn't get to that psychological 120. So I had nothing there except 120. It's eerily just hanging out here, just above 116. So I'm going to make the close will be very important tomorrow. If people wake up and say, God, 116, get me out of this, or wow, 116, this is a breakout. But that's a big gap in Nike. FedEx, Triple D was talking about the 180. I don't know if he meant day. I just didn't, in my bones, in my old man bones, I didn't think it was going to get there. But pretty close on the technicals there, because the 3-day high was 173.69. You opened above that. But you made that high very quickly. So if you were buying that thing off the open, you found out very, very quickly that you were wrong. And then I looked at this. And I was doing my article. I'm like, well, there's no way it filled the gap. And you know what? That thing filled the gap from yesterday. Yesterday's high was 168. I hope this is correct. That's what I put in my article. Yesterday's high was 168.51, and you got down to 168.16. Then you filled the gap up, and now it's clinging to 170 here. That's pretty technical, pretty wild day. The first couple minutes of action were real crazy, but I just am not, like, just as with you. I'm just not that impressed with the report. And I just want to check UPS. UPS up 284 on this. You got an inside day on UPS. And let's just follow up Triple D with his relationship traders. Foot Locker, holy mackerel. That thing got a bid. Where's it trading at right now? 35.91. Wow. Open 34.50. Low 434, and then up to 590. Folks, if you're trading this Foot Locker, keep an eye on this $36 area. I had a high at 35.97. That was back on the 15th. Your current high 35.91. UA, I mean, that needs a catalyst. That's up 41 cents. That's a big day for Under Armour. Keep an eye on 880 and Under Armour. And what else? Skechers. Look at Skechers up $1.72. I'm telling you, those Skechers shoes are comfortable.
Man. It's all about the shoes with Crocs, the holes, man.
What's going on with Crocs?
About
wow,
100.
Crocs up 7.
Takeout.
Ooh. I don't know, man. You can.
I
would
if I was
traded the Crocs. You got a high at 102.94. Ooh, you probably got close to. You might get close to that today. And then for you Crocs traders, you got a double top in the 104 handle. Let's just call it. This is called 104 flat because you had a high at 381 and 04 23. Oh, and then just what else? I'm a Teva guy, Jagger. I don't wear Crocs. I love Tevas. You know what else kind of surprised us? The Six Flags.
The 6. And this
Yeah.
just goes to show you the type of day that it was, right? Also, like it was an everything rally, right? It wasn't just specific stocks. When I looked at my industries, and I mean, I can pull my main chart up, right? Look at all that green, right? I mean, there's very rare times where I can go like that. And look at the bottom right. Bottom right for me is going to be industries, and you just see just green tape all around. Very rare. Food distribution, pharmaceutical retailers. I wonder why pharmaceutical retailers went down today. I'll mention that in a second. But the only other thing I see is like REITs, hotels, everything else in the green. Not very often do we see that. But why pharmaceutical retailers were down? Well, it didn't help, right? With was it Rite Aid?
Rite Aid.
The Rad?
Yeah, you were talking.
Ain't
Down
Rad no
78
more.
cents. Wow.
Ain't Rad no
Boy,
more.
That took out took out the previous day's high, and then Kaplooey. Walgreens Boots Alliance down 93 cents. That put in a
Yep.
triple top. CVS, boom, boom, boom. That's down a $1.04. Rite Aid, dragging the whole sector down. I just want to alert our traders, investors here to something Money Mitch mentioned to me when we were in the warming up doing our pre at the close market show, whatever we call it. And Tesla was trading in the mid 138 handle, and we discussed that. Supposedly, we don't have any confirmation of this. He's already going to the bank to get more money. Once again, this is no news. There's no confirmation of this. And Mitch was like, "Well, man, this thing that looks like it has a 137 closing it, and we are struggling to stay in the 138 handle. Another bad day for Tesla. I know someone reached out to me about, was that a capitulation? It really, I mean, it was just a steady pounding yesterday. It wasn't like
Yeah.
that. I look at a capitulation like on a $10 lower open or something like that. So it's just leaking now. We're about to go in the red. So anybody that bought it yesterday and marked at yesterday's close, the Bulls absolutely must defend that closing price. Tesla just ticks red here, and that's probably dragging the index down here as we head into the final 18 minutes of the session.
I mean, it's just a simple fact. Tesla's back into 2020 prices, right? That should tell you enough. It seems like a big turnaround there, and I think a lot of investors probably stuck in this now. Overhead supply, I think, will exist in Tesla. The question will be, can we ever get back to 400? I mean, soon. If this gets down to 100, if this gets down to 100, I mean, that's going to be 4 times for it to come back there, right? I mean, it's not 100% that it needs to move back up there. It's going to be 400% to get back up there, right? I mean,
you never say never, right?
Mm-hmm. But
I don't think Tesla's ever going to see 400 again. I don't even think you're going to see. It's going to be a long time before you see 300. And I think it's going to be an even longer time, 300 or even 200. How about 150?
Kramer called the end. Kramer called the end today, right, Joel?
The end of Tesla?
Tesla, pretty much. Like, he was like, yep, Ford's coming for your lunch, pretty much. He was calling for it. So
yeah,
I don't know if there's anything that might get me bullish. It might be that call, but we won't get into that. Let's keep moving. Let's take a look at the semiconductor stocks today because they had a good day today. Look at NVIDIA. Sometimes I trade daily. I look at it like a sock sell to kind of give me that outlook. Of course, that's a leveraged look. But let's go back to NVIDIA, and you guys can see kind of our lead. I would call like a leader in the semiconductor space right now, having a pretty decent daily chart. Even though, the market's been struggling, NVIDIA hasn't been that bad. We pulled back, kind of held here. It doesn't look too bad. I see kind of a little trend line support around the 160s where it runs into it. We'll see if we can get back to 170.
Pretty odd, you look at that. I said this morning. You look at these charts and like the Tuesday CPI high, where I wasn't here for,
Mhm.
and then you had the decline. You had the low of the move yesterday. How about that? How about they don't even give us a shot at 38 under 38.10 in the regular session? The whole Japanese hawkish tone where they took it down overnight and then just barely undercut the low from yesterday. I will just alert our traders, investors here on the boom boom Nvidia here. I'd be careful about another leg up until you can prove me you got a strong 166 bid. The reason being your high on Monday being 166.09, your high today 166.27. You've backed off that. So I don't know if I can make it 3-star resistance, but it's definitely 2.5-star resistance for Nvidia. And what other chips? We know what's going to determine the next move in the chips, right? Micron.
Yes, tonight, Micron. What happens there? I traded this one today. I wasn't a bad trade. Caught it on the bounce. Could tell the reaction was feeling a little bullish there. The tape. We'll see how it closes. It doesn't look too bad. If it can push here through maybe 51.25 towards the close, that'll tell me a little bit more about the stock today. But of course, this is one that has already gave us a lot of warning, right? I
Yeah, they
mean, the
have.
only thing that can scare me a little bit here is if we cut through monthly lows, because look at the monthly chart. The monthly chart has some levels underneath it that I feel like if we give up there, where do we go from there? It starts really dropping, right? And so $50 is going to be so important to hold with this earning report.
All right, and I'll just eyeballing the Micron chart for
Mhm.
you players in the after hours. If it gets through 52, I don't have an exact high at 52, but the last three highs, including today's session, all encompass 52. So that would be my trap door on the upside. It gets through 52. I don't think it's going to stall at 52, 54. And then what Mitch is referring to here. All these monthly lows, hanging out at these monthly lows too long. The dead low of the move was 48.45. That's only $3 away. So if there's a quick whoosh down, that would be your first support. But man, this. I remember when that thing was up near 100, and I'm just like, can it get through 100? Can it get through 100? And obviously it did it. Uh, Boding well for the Bulls here is you kind of get the way you topped out in early 22 with all those monthly highs, 95 to 98. You're getting that same formation on the downside, maybe some institutional buying. You just don't want to see it give it way off this earnings report.
It's crazy. And just to think about it, and I don't want to put this in perspective. I hope this is not what happens to Micron. I'm just trying to put things in perspective, right? You guys can see this chart here on the bottom right. I'll make it big here. Look what happened in the .com era, right? It got up here. Look how long it took to get back. It was a drop. It was a drop and then continued going down. Took a long time to get back there, right? Hopefully, this is not what we see again in Micron, but just to put things in perspective, right? All right, let's keep moving. We'll see what happens. This report's after the bell. It's 3:49 in just about a minute or two. We'll start just doing ticker time, team. So keep throwing up some tickers in the chat. We'll go to them. Let's take a look at some other stock that, of course, have been moving on the day. I was going to take a look at that Starbucks call out that you said today, and you called this one on the hammer there. You said, "Hold on, this guy's downgrading on a tape like today." Oh, whoever hit that one on Jeffries, they flushed it on him. They pushed it right back through those levels. Not a bad move there through 97.
Yeah, and in Triple D, two guys that are perennial haters of Starbucks. I guess you got a pretty good signal there. Both Triple D and I concurring that it may get a bounce off this. Once again, King on your opening print, 96.72. If you took it short through that, well, you had a little over 37 cents to cover when it bottomed at 96.35. I don't see any daily lows in there, but you had absolutely no business being short that stock when it came back through that 96.72. We've actually exceeded the high from yesterday. When you net yesterday's high 98.58, 99.07 is the high, but we are backing off there a little bit. We're trading 98.48. I'm looking. I'm going to give that 99 just because there's a high below, a high above, and one little bit off it. That 99, that's going to be a formidable level. The spoos lose 3,900 here. Well, now we're right at 3,900. Get in there as some bids. My charts are coming back soon.
They're coming, Evan. They're coming.
I ordered my computer. The guys at Dell were very patient with me. Yes, I do still use Dell. And I'm just waiting on that thing. So we are fading into the close. FedEx falls under 170. Nike loses to 116. There is a major battle going on in Tesla at unchanged as we speak. It is now down 8 cents, but it just feels like it's leaking, Mitch. Good call on that 137. Maybe closing in a 137 handle. Looks like we have a new person in the chat who I'm not even going to try and pronounce their name. It says an MOC imbalance of 40 million to the sell side. That ain't much. And we know how
we like them bills. We like them bills.
Yeah, we like 7, 8, 9, 10 bills. I mean, 40 mil. I mean, that's just lighten up your portfolio a little bit. But we are losing altitude. We are now under that 3,900. So the fluff in the market is starting to come off. Tesla down 38 cents now. We're walking this thing down. Low of the day at 35.89. The young man that reached out to me on Twitter that said, was that, the capitulation? If you're trying the undercut and rally trick, you should not be hanging on if this takes out 135.89. And if the news, I don't know whether it was a nasty rumor or whatever, but if it comes out that Elon's already going to the bank to get more money for Tesla, man, I wouldn't want to be long this thing overnight, because there you could get maybe your capitulation drop. But you know what I just saw flash up on the screen here? Boeing, Mitch. What's going on in Boeing?
Take off, man. Take off. It's been able to start really clearing the regulation hurdles, right? That was what was holding it back. And that's why it's on the takeoff. It's able to sell some more. It was able to sell some internationally, right? That was the recent news. It was able to sell some to United. I think at this point, you can actually start looking at Boeing as a takeoff.
Did you ever be in one of those Boeings? You're probably too young, where like they were double deckers and you could go up.
I haven't been. I've been in one before where it was double decker, but it was like a big plane to like Germany when I was like flying internationally. But yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, did we get into the 200 handle yet? No, we're trading at 195.43. We're having a good day. That 200, we have not been up at 200 since the good old month of we were back there in March. We had a high at 203.50. So if you're looking for more on this one, 203.50 could be your next potential target. That was your March 2022 high. Maybe you can go back and dig up some daily levels there. But I don't know. Good day for Boeing. I don't know. I'm just, me, I've been kind of skeptical about, people buying these big old jumbo airliners, and I don't know. I think travel may be some of these smaller planes, but that's not what the street's thinking about today. I just want to alert our Delta traders that, keep an eye on 34. Yeah, there was a high last week at 34. You touched 34 today. Currently trading at 33.63.
We'll see what happens.
What's this Boyle thing? Is this like an inverse?
No, I'll tell you what it is. So it's a natural gas. It's the ProShares, Bloomberg natural gas. And so they call this one, Joel, the widow maker. That's what they say out there, because it'll make you a widow real quick. that trading action. I mean, the monthly chart says it all, right? Look at that monthly chart. Woo, from 25 to 100 and above, like it ain't no thing.
I
That thing
just tell you
moves.
this natty gas. Wow, man, this thing's volatile. This is just at a critical area. If you're trading this boil, you came down. Wow, this natty gas. It came down under 550. Not last week, but the previous week before, and then it put in a hard top at 7. Holy mackerel! If you're trading this boil, take a look at your natty gas futures chart. That's going to be your indication. I mean, there was just a rock of sellers at $7, even through last week, even through last Thursday. You could have got a look at $7 on this. Now hanging out on the low of the move. The actual low of the move was made yesterday at 5.256. Now you're right there right now. A red candle yesterday, and you're not bolting out of there. This boil, I don't know if it's going to translate on the charts as well. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because the natty gas trades around the clock. So there's your tip for you. Look at the natty gas futures if you're trading that boil, and maybe save yourself some headaches.
Definitely. And just to give you the opposite of boil, so you know it, Joel, they got the coal, KOLD, which is the opposite, an inverse version of it. So who knows? Maybe that makes more sense. You know how it is, right? These day traders, they love their vehicles. I can't blame them. Someone even calling out nail in the chat, which is one that I've never really used, but it's the home builders and supply daily leverage 3 times X. Do you see anything here? Doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, overall daily, but
I'll
of course
just
this
look at
thing
the.
gaps
I'll just
around.
look at. Yeah, I'll just look at HB and
Yeah, let's take a look
boy, oh
at
boy,
maybe
that
like
had
a
a
Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Yeah, that's a part of the
How
nail.
is Home Depot? That's pulled off. I like this 310 area. I think you're okay as long as you hold 310. That was low in mid-December. Not seeing much on the upside. If you want the rally to continue, I'd be my next target on the upside would be 321.91. That was Monday's high, and then it opens up considerably. Let's look at its lows. Not a great day, but off the low of the move. Let's look at the Toll Brothers. Toll gaps up today. Not seeing anything in Toll Brothers that gets me excited.
Yeah.
Lennar up a buck 40. Man, these things are just all trying to battle back from that CPI shellacking from last Tuesday.
Definitely. We'll see what happens with the stocks tomorrow. It's 3:59. We're about to call it quits, but Tesla not looking good as it keeps coming lower towards the close, now towards 137.45. Can it go lower tomorrow? Well, we've said it. Stocks making new lows. You might want to go. This one continued this streak. Now it's been on a what? It's going to be a 8 bars, 8 days of new lows there in Tesla. Not something that I want to be seeing. Keep watching that trend.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mitch, you nailed it on the head. Getting a little pop into the close. They found the buyers at 3,900. That we wanted. BZB trading. And then tomorrow we're going to get our last appearance from our buddy Mark Chaikin and see how put a bow on 2022. Look forward to 2023. In Rustical, what was that stock you asked me about this morning in pre-market prep plus? It was something with a P. Do you remember what it was, Rustical? Because I wanted to see what it was. It was a fairly new stock.
Bring it up, Rustical. I'll tell you what, Martin. I'm keeping this hat. Power School. PWSC Power School. Well, don't worry, Martin. I'll keep the hat as long as the Santa Claus rally can keep going. If we close green, Santa hat staying on. That's the new rule. All right, what do we got in that PWSC?
All right, folks.
You like that one?
I wanted it to poke its. No, it was just he's been Power School. I think that's what my girls used to when you used to, you could sign in and get your kids' grades. Well, I'm glad I
Yeah.
didn't have that. My parents just didn't want to look at my straight A's all the time. But I think that's what is that? Power School Holdings. Is that what it seems like? Something that you use to track your kids' grades or something? What is it, Power School, Mitch?
I'll take a look here. What do we got in Benzinga Pro? That's the one thing I'll say.
I
I
want to
do love
see.
that little description. It says it's a provider of cloud-based software for K to 12 education market. Its cloud-based technology platforms help schools and districts efficiently manage state reporting and related compliance.
Yeah,
So yeah, there you
it's the
have it,
same.
right on the head.
I nailed it,
You
Rustico.
got it.
Okay,
Boom.
everyone, have a good night, and we'll see you in the morning with Mark Shakin. Great job.
See you guys
Great
in the
call.
morning.
Hey, Mitch, great call on Tesla there, heading into the close.
Not too bad, team. We'll see what happens if Santa can stay going here. And we'll see if the big bad wolf, Jerome Powell, can't keep Santa Claus away. Hit the thumbs up if you guys enjoyed today's action right here on Benzinga, of course.